Yo, 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 what's good with it, Pack fam? It's your boy, Mr. Check My Resume. We about to get into this 0-day watch list for August the 19th, Friday, August the 19th. We're about to, wrap up this month in terms of monthly expirations. That's usually choppiness in abundance and when we have those expiration weeks. Just a few housekeeping items before we jump into it. These are 0-day expiration trades, meaning these trades, we are looking for contracts that expire tomorrow, which what that means for you and I is that these trades are highly volatile. Contracts can move very quickly in either direction. So you can lose your entire position in these types of trades. But you can also reap some really good rewards if you do it correctly. I always try to caution folks who are new to the strat, just new to trading, or just never have done these 0-day trades. Because I think I was trading options probably, I don't know, maybe probably a year-ish before I even touched a 0-day contract. So it was one of those things I was taught like to stay away from. So, with the experience and time and all that good stuff, you'll be able to kind of feel more comfortable with taking that type of trade. So based on our methodology, we talk about the probabilities of trades and things of that nature. So when we do want to take trades that generally have a lower probability, we want to approach it with a process that can lend you consistent results. You don't want to just what I see a lot of times, like on Twitter or whatever, is just people use the term lottos and things of that nature. These are not lottos. We do not look at these trades or this. We don't do a class to come up with lottos. You know what I mean? So we're looking for real trades, potential trades that can actually do something tomorrow, not just taking a guess on the whim or hoping for the best. So with that, I think I covered the basics on Mrcheckmyresume, my resume, 1/5 of the leadership here in the Alpha Pack. For those of you that do not know me. So let's get into the process and kind of what we do here with the 0-day class. Primarily the objective here with the class is to identify potential trades for Friday, I guess is the best way or the simplest way to put it. And we do that through going through a series of steps. We don't cover all of the steps here in the class. We only have an hour or so, but we do go over often. Our whole idea here is to identify potential setups for tomorrow that go through a certain, I guess, criteria or a certain checklist, in my opinion, which kind of gives me a stronger, I guess, whatever it is, bullish or bearish, it just gives me a stronger conviction in terms of that type of trade. So there's things like, continuity and sector strength and a lot of different factors, which we'll talk about as we get into these tickers. And last thing, another thing about the 0-day trades, I'm not looking for scalps. So I'm not looking for something just to pop out the gate and like take my money real quick. Sure, if that happens, we're not opposed to that. However, the idea here is to take a trade that we can stay in for longer than just like 10, 20, 30 minutes. We're looking for something we could take longer than like the first 2 hours, maybe half the day. And if it's really smoking, then something we can ride out the whole day. I think that, there's a thought process you have to take with that. And so if you're more in the mindset of like jumping in and jumping out, that may be a little different in terms of what we're targeting here. However, there's been plenty of opportunities for that to occur as well, but that's just not the objective. Now, as we go through tickers, there will be some where we feel that they're more suited for that kind of move versus those that we feel may move that entire day. So, or longer period of time, I should say, versus the entire day. So with that, I think that's pretty much it. Last thing, oh yeah, please drop your tickers in the chat. I will go through all the tickers, whatever you all drop into the chat, we'll go through each and every one of them. But primarily for me, I like to start out this class with doing a scan, which is really essentially the goal with that is to collect the data to see what we have. So we're looking for setups, just based on the setups, no right or wrong. And then we'll kind of go through that process after that. But collect the data, draw your borrowed informations, make an assessment on the trade, and then go analyze the contracts. And that's kind of how we go through that process. So we'll step into that today, and we'll talk about it. So one of the setups that I like to target first when I look into this is an inside 4-hour setup. But what I oftentimes tell people is that I'm not looking for a reversal, so to speak. I'm looking for a continuation play. I'm looking for something that's been moving up in force, and all I'm doing is just getting on a moving train. You know, I'm just getting on something that's been moving, it's going. I don't have any curiosity about like if it's gonna go. Like this thing's been going, and if it's been doing like it has been, then it's gonna keep on going, you know. Excuse me, that's kind of like the thought process. And so I like the inside 4-hour setup for that reason, because it can give me potentials for trades to continue in that manner. And it's a lower time frame than the day. I don't want to just rely on the day setups, and I don't have a lot of trust for the daily setups, honestly. So a lot of times I like to start out with the 4-hour, and then if I don't see what I like from that 4-hour scan, after going through my process, then I'll kind of add that daily scan, like an inside day or a 2-down day scan, to see what other potentials I could take advantage of. But so with that, we're gonna get into it. Be sure to drop your tickers in the chat, and we'll get into that about midway through. We are 5 minutes in. So first thing I'm going to do here is run an inside 4-hour scan. That is a inside bar, a 1 candle on the 4-hour scan, and we're gonna see what we got here. I was actually out today handling personal business, so I actually did not trade at all today. So this will be interesting to see what we have. Scan is moving slow today. Huh. Didn't like that one. Let's do it again. There we go. Oh, there's a lot of tickers on there. That's why. Okay. Just being impatient. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through, we are not going to go through all 261. So don't worry about that. But we are going to cherry pick some tickers that we are familiar with, that, you know, that we feel we could, you know, we feel confident in potentially taking the trade on. Just kind of going through this list here. First couple ones I see, like Snapchat, ON Semiconductors, Marvell, the African Americans. So let's take a look at ON Semiconductors. Look at what this thing has done since the alert. I put in an alert. Man, what week was this? July the 11th. The week of July 11th. I put in an alert for ON Semiconductors. Actually, let me check that one out. But I'll repost that. But yeah, 322 on the week here, and ON's just been on a rocket. Obviously, we saw the Chip Investment Act get passed, and you know that's just continuing this bullish move up, which I think, in my opinion, is kind of pushing the market up in some respects. And so this one here looks really, really good. However, let me go to the 4-hour really quick. Okay. Day. in the month. Okay. We got all these time frames in force. Looks like we came in contact with some broad informations today. So we are caught up in between these two BFs here. What I'd like to see out of this tomorrow would be, obviously we want to see this thing pushing up pre-market or whatever, but more really I want to see what XLK, QQQ are looking like, as well as SPY. That'll be something you'll be dependent on. Me personally, it does give you the 212 to the downside setup, which potentially could take you down to this next broadening formation level around 72.39. However, if we are bullish in the morning, it could be a scenario where this we end up still going up. So I would just be watching this one. But you got ON semiconductors with a 212 on the 4 hour. If you're looking at it below, if you're trying to take some puts, maybe short-term put to that 73 or below 73.06, and you could probably take that down to about the 72.50 level if you did get that break. I'm not so sure though, because we are very bullish right now. We did have a choppy week, but it is expiration week, so you know, you just got to kind of watch yourself tomorrow. And so to the upside, you're looking at that 212 above 74.42 on ON semiconductors. My personal opinion though, I feel like it's going to go 2 up on the day tomorrow. Not sure like what may happen prior to that happening though. It could go down and up, you know, kind of thing. Give us an outside 4 hour in the morning. So just be mindful of ON. Even if it triggers to the downside, does not mean that it's not going to go to the upside eventually. So that's the beauty of these 4 hour setups. They create a lot of outside candles on that first candle of the day. So ON semiconductors, you can set triggers to both sides on that one. I'm bullish on it though, as you should be as well. But you know, could be a little small opportunity to take to the downside. Next one here is Snapchat. Looks like Snap's trying to get in the gap some more. Not been feeling Snap right now, but it's like Snap TTO is pushing back up to the upside. We got a Chicago setup on the 4 hour here. Looking at an entry above 1262. Let's see. Excuse me. Three, 1, 2. Oops, my bad. All right. Now we got Marvell, then the African Americans. Marvell looks very similar to NVIDIA, or sorry, ON semiconductors. Strong morning candle, pull back in the afternoon, little consolidation. I still like this one. I mean, this one I have a similar behavior to ON semiconductors, so kind of same frame of mind with that one as I had with ON earlier. We'll see what the sector does and that type of thing. It's not giving you the setup. However, if we do get bullishness in the morning, I'll be looking for those to push up. So you'll know pretty quickly. So set those triggers for that one. Actually, let me go back. I think I skipped the levels. I didn't even give you the levels on that. Already moving on. Yeah, so Marvell got the 212 to the downside below 54.49. But again, I'm inclined to believe that we will be going 2 up tomorrow. It may take a little time to do that. And to the upside, your trigger to the upside would be above 55.43. So whether it makes a 2 down first and then comes back to make an outside 4 hour, that trigger doesn't change. It's the 55.43 trigger. So that's Marvell. I don't see any others. I think this week trigger here is at 56.64. So this thing have had been smoking to get to that point. So Marvell looks okay, looks decent. Had a strong day today. All right, the African Americans, AA. This is Alcoa. Alcoa. Big material stocks. We got a 4-hour setup here. We also got an inside week. So first off, we're looking at a 212 on the 4-hour. This is 5401. Right. And then on the week, we're still inside, so I would imagine 55.63 would be the week break. So we need a pretty strong move tomorrow to break the week. So we'll see if that actually happens, but it probably is a good thing that it would stay inside. But yeah, AA has a 4-hour setup. So we'll be looking at that one for potential entry tomorrow. Gotta check out what the contracts look like, see if it's worth our time. Keep it going here. We got SWN. NVIDIA. That's excellent. SWN. Southwest Energy here. Again, 4-hour setup. It's like it did nothing in the afternoon, just consolidated. I would be inclined to see this one continue up tomorrow. Go 2 up on the day. Got entry on the 4-hour above 765 or to the downside below 757. It is a little closer to the downside. We had an inside day as well. And we go 212 on the day above 768. So SWN, Southwestern Energy, already in force on the month, 2 up on the week. NVIDIA, XOM.
Riz, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go for it, Ox.
So you got a big list there. How are you choosing between them? So you just kind of like picking and choosing out of the top 10?
Yeah,
just stocks you're familiar with.
I'm just scanning for familiarity sectors and things of that nature.
Okay.
So I'm not. Yeah, I have no intention of going through them all. So I just kind of go through the list and pick through ones that I know are familiar to certain sectors.
Okay, got it.
You know, yeah.
Sweet.
Familiarity is probably like the first piece, but then another thing is like sector, like. So even if you already have a plan in mind of what you want to do, this sometimes can give you a hint of like what may be going in a given day. Because if you see like a bunch of setups to one direction of a bunch of tickers in one sector, that could be a tip off that that sector is going to go the next day.
Right.
Yeah. So you there are other things you can glean from doing this, but yeah, my whole thing is just I'm just scanning through. I don't want to just randomly look at tickers, so I'll just hone in on the ones because I know what type of trade I'm looking for tomorrow. So that's the whole key. Like I know what type of trade I want. This 4-hour setup may actually give me more than that, but I know what type of trade I want. So now I know the setup that I need to look at to give me the type of I want. You know what I mean?
Cool.
So,
Yep.
So that's
yeah.
So then I just have to filter based upon my rules, like sectors and all that other stuff that we talked about. So it's better than going through 200 stocks a night. I'll tell you
that. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I used to do. Not good. Not good when you got a wife and little kids.
No, good luck with that. Yep.
Yeah, you gotta learn to be efficient. So NVIDIA, I don't like where it's at right here on this level. I can see this as a potential rejection level. And then secondly, I don't like to take new entries right where broadening formation is. I mean, there will be cases where I could potentially do that, but vast majority of the time, I'm going to avoid those trades. However, this video could go up tomorrow and go through those broadening formations, but I got a weekly and a monthly, you know, right above its head. So it just screams, even if it's bullish, it screams choppiness. So that's, you know, so I'm a little hesitant to enter a trade right at that position. Not, it has nothing to do with the stock. It's just my own experience with those broadening formations. Could be a, you know, could be a 2-up day that, you know, just a choppy day in between. So. But NVIDIA, it looks bullish. I mean, hell, could be one of those days where SPY gaps up tomorrow. And if SPY gaps up, then it's going to jump over those broadening formation. That's another thing we've noticed with the strap is that those gap ups, they're gap up or gap down to a broadening formation. Like, hold up, this is too trippy. So you got XOM, Exxon Mobil. You know, Exxon hasn't triggered the month yet, but it did trigger the week. We got a 212 here on the 4-hour. Looking at an entry above 94.61. All right. CXOM. Yeah, MPC, that's another energy stock. Not to be confused with MRO. Hmm. 322 on the month. It has an inside 4-hour MPC similar to XOM. It's still moving up. I expect it to go 2 up again tomorrow. Interesting. Let's keep going. CVX and then Netflix. This energy setup looks clean. It's probably the cleanest of them that I've seen so far. So this is Chicago on the 4-hour. We got triple inside weeks on CVX. This smells like a combo meal right here. So we got a 3-1-2 on the 4-hour. $159.28. Interesting. I'm also still looking at this triple inside week. We're still below trigger level for the month. This one's showing that it's gonna bust one more time. Probably go to this broadening formation here, 184, 185. But just squeezing every week, keep squeezing. So triple inside week. I think the last one we took that had triple inside week was SO. Was it SO that we had triple inside week? We know what those can do off of those breaks. I'm not sure what the high of this week is. 160, 116. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we've got an entry on the week too above 160, 116. Me personally, I would not want to see it break the week tomorrow. It can go $2, but don't do $2.15. That's all. Something like whatever that number is. $2 and yeah, don't do that. So that's the idea with CVX. I would love for this one to stay inside. I get a trigger next week. I'm not in a rush to get a trigger like, oh, let me get in so I can be first. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about the actionable signal. So I like to see it, continue to squeeze and go into next week and then break to the upside. Because that's what energy likes to do. So maybe energy squeezes. It goes up tomorrow, but not significantly, and then breaks out next week after expiration week. So anyway, I like that CVX. So there's a potential combo play. I mean, if you was feeling froggy, I mean, I don't encourage getting the earlier entries. There's no reason to, but it looks bullish. But I just, next week it could open up inside again and then you're gonna be down. So anyway, CVX looks good for tomorrow. Looking strong. Netflix. A lot of stuff in the afternoon just kind of like doing it. All right, got inside 4 hour right here on Netflix. Looking for 2-up continuation on the day, and that 312 right here above 246 flat. So looking at 246 flat as an entry point on Netflix. We probably could take this thing to the 249 target if which is still less than 2%. So that could work. That could be a decent target tomorrow. Netflix. Greeks usually aren't too hot on Netflix though. Let me check out SunPower. I haven't played them in a while. They typically do not have the contracts. Party. So it looks like this one pulled down, created a shooter today. Don't like that. We're looking at 212 to the downside. It is a clean setup to the downside, however. You get that 212 to the downside, your trigger would be below 25.75. So once it hit below that level, you take an entry for puts to the downside, or if you're playing economy, you shorten it. And you can potentially take this one down to a couple different pivots along the way, but there looks like there's a gap. So you can feel that gap at 25.51. So that, there could be a little something, a little juice on there for you. All right, let's keep it going. Intel PBR. Intel PBR. Chicago set up on the 4 hour above $36.30 on Intel. That is a good, buy in terms of price level. Intel that cheap, it's cheap price of Intel. But yeah, you got the entry above 36.30. I'll set the entry. I'll see what the broad information look like on that. Chips all look the same. $36. All right, about to get into the pack. Let's see what's going on in the chat. 2 more minutes.
On the inside, we got a PBR. I don't know if I want to play it. Let's see. At least for tomorrow. It's for shares. All right, yeah, PBR's in that gap. We've got an entry on the 4 above $14.30. So that is doing a little bit. All right. Oh, look at BA. Yeah, I know how I feel about VA, but I don't try to operate with no bias. We got Bowen here with a 3-1-2 Chicago. Yeah, okay, tight. $168.84. Also on the day, what we got? We got 2 down hammer, rear strap, potential on the day. Double trigger. Let's see some 18. Okay, bone trigger is in. The week don't look good at all though. The week just looks weak. All right, excuse me. All right, Costco DG, and then I'm going to the chat. Costco, yes sir. That was that's barbecue chicken look like. Okay. Costco. Let's see. Out of there. DG channel. It's been going sideways. All right, so let's see what we got here in the chat, my peoples. Yeah, Mr. Motown, we put down AA, the African Americans prevailed inside week. They're one of the better looking setups we found tonight. Roblox. Roblox has got more downside movement. All right.
All right, Roblox is a 4 hour, giving us kind of a shooter. Well, it looks like a lot of stuff had a slow afternoon, I guess you could say. But Roblox, I mean, just based on the look, man, it's just got a lot of conflict. So it'd be one I kind of stay away from, and maybe something intraday you can catch, and then it's it brings things in continuity. But right now it's in conflict. I wouldn't want to mess with it until it figured itself out. Oh my God. Nike. Okay. Nike ain't really didn't do too much today. Just kind of chopped around. It's kind of flat overall. You got set up to either direction. It's really not giving you an indication of which way it's going to go. Moving to the day. You had that move for about 3 good days, and then it kind of cooled off. It's cooling down a little bit. Looks like here's a level where it should reverse back up and keep going up. So maybe there is the potential tomorrow for it to go 1, 2, 2 on the day. But it's just not showing us that direction right now. That's all. AVGO. Two up on the day, 2 up on the week, 2 up on the month. Very strong. Inside 4 hour on AVGO Broadcom. Huh. So this one here could continue up. 212 above 5. What's this? 559.95. That would be your entry level. Hard for me to see it going down tomorrow with the way price action moved today on the day. Hard for me to see that. All right, let's check out Wells Fargo. Oh, very strong 4 hour on Wells. Ever since they did the gap up, they just been real strong. Wells Fargo looks really good. In addition to the 4 hour setup, you see the price action, how it's been behaving since the alert, essentially. Just been going. Also on the day, you had the inside day today. It's like price closed at 46.14. Yeah, and the higher day was 46.20. So you'll be looking for that break of that double inside day. We'll put the trigger point in there on the inside day break at 46.20. Y'all see what's happening? We about to turn up. Oh, I keep doing this. Okay.
All these damn chickens right there. Okay. I already looked at AA. We put them down. Strong inside week. NUE. Inside week. Inside 4 hour. This is intriguing. It's like it's just been jumping up and down though. The idea here would be this thing to keep going out and up. Yeah, but I don't know. I think with time you're gonna definitely win, but 0 day, I'm kind of, I don't know. I don't know with that one. What I will say though, the inside still, the setup still the inside. Obviously it had a strong day today. Looks like nice movement out the, what's that morning, getting the gap up a little bit. Yeah, so I mean, obviously buyers are showing strength this afternoon. It seems like just consolidation. So I don't have any reason to say it's gonna go down tomorrow or anything like that. So I wouldn't be afraid of it. I wouldn't be afraid that it would, I wouldn't be afraid of it coming down or something like that. I think it's fine. Unless we get the whole market that pulls down or something like that. NUE, it looks decent. What I would want to see is this thing go 212 on a 4 hour above 143 flat, and then flip that candle back green and put us all back in the time frame continuity. That would be what I would prefer. To see. NUE, I heard that ticker in a minute. UYW. Rise 2 up on the 4 hour. 122 on the 4 hour. Okay. Y'all ain't playing with these tickets tonight. So y'all make it up for last week. Last week y'all ain't put that many tickets. Same setup on W, Wayfair. 122 on the day. All right, so 7180 be my alert level on Wayfair. I ain't looked at Wayfair in long. CCL with the Apple. CCL had a strong 4 hour right here. I don't like the conflict. That's probably my only issue, but I mean, I like to stop. So, CCL, I mean, the setup looks fire. You got the 212 above 1048. I'll set that trigger point. Okay, CCL. I put in a 4-hour trigger. I'd like to see a little more, but I would put it down anyway. Pepsi double inside 4, inside day. Huh. First you had me interested, now you have me intrigued. Hey. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Pepsi on the breakout all-time highs. We are hovering this weekly BF right here. Looks like we want to keep pushing up, which is interesting. Okay. Double inside 4 hours. It's interesting. Let me mark this level here. Speed it up. All right. So that's my level on Pepsi. We got the double inside 4 break above 180.68 on Pepsi. And then on the day here, we've got this 212 above 180.93. We'll see what happens. I'm still bullish on Pepsi, even at all-time highs.
Like you said, all-time highs meant to be broken.
That's right. Ain't nothing but a number. TJX. Ain't that TJ Maxx? Yeah. You got to be from my generation to play TJX. All right. 212. Yeah, I like that. That's clean. That's a clean TTO. All time frames in force. Continuity. I wonder what people at the party with that thing was fire.
Yeah, the at the money contracts got somebody there, and well, 69 and the 70 calls got between 3,300 to 1,100 people there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for them. Oh, okay. Take a look at those a little later. Yeah, we got the inside break on the day. It's like a Momo hammer. All right, strat 101. Session 1. It's a Momo hammer, people. This is a bullish, very super bullish candle right here. So anyway, be mindful. This one here. Trying to get some of that TJ Maxx money. Trying to get some of that money my mom used to give them back in the day. All right. 2 up on the week, 2 up on the month. Quarter is green. Yo, what the year looking like? When does the year go back green? Got some BS on it though. 75.83. Okay. It's moving. It's moving. Interesting move right there. All right. Keep it going. Lowe's. LOW. Lowe's has been going off. This is another one of the alerts I put in recently. Man, this setup looks great. I really like playing lows on 0 days. I think we had a very good we've had some good luck with lows historically. I think lows is one of our old trade breakdowns we had on YouTube a long time ago. It's down with the low. We got an inside day as well. In case you missed the 4 hour of the day. Right, 212 on the day. You was here when we went over Wells Fargo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. No, you ain't late, Crash. You ain't late. You ain't late, my man. We can go check out Cat right now. We'll take a look at the Cat, man. All right. Strong afternoon. Caterpillar ain't got no entries. Bouncer said that they ain't taking no more people. What you got? You got a month trigger. 199.49. That's too far. So yeah. What we'll be looking for on Cat, if you're not already in it, is an intraday signal to get in there. It hasn't taken off just yet. It just hit trigger like I think a couple days ago, and then gap down. So you got an opportunity still to get in it, but I would look for an actionable signal and not just get in when the market opens or something like that. The Cat strong as hell. I mean, it looks real good. It's gonna keep going up, but we don't have any signals right now. Under what contracts would I be looking to get into? For this particular class, all we're focused on are contracts that expire for tomorrow, which would be 8/19, August of 19. So we're looking for 1-day contracts, high volatility. And so, yeah, that's kind of how we're looking at them. So yeah, we're not looking at trades for next week or next month. We might notice some opportunities and stuff like that, but this class, we're just focused on trying to take advantage of tomorrow's volatility. Y'all already talked about that in the chat. I'm the one late. All right, moving on. We got our baby CERN. Man, you an OG Pat member if you remember that time we played CERN last year. You like OG Pat member. I think that's the last time I played it. Yeah, this is baby CERN right here. The inside days, inside 4 hour. Yes, it does. The thing you got to watch with XLK stocks is that their Greeks are going to be horrible in the morning, or their Greeks are going to be horrible for tomorrow. So you really need for your trades to go in a direction and not like go sideways or nothing like that. And it'll eat up the theta eat up the contracts. Come on, bro.
144, 37. Alert level. Wait. We went over the African Americans, Mr. Motown. They on the list. Same thing with Wells Fargo Stace. We ran through both of those. They are definitely on the list for tomorrow. It's pretty safe assumption those are going to be on the list. Uh-oh. What the hell did I just type? All right, Lucid. Man, Lucid was another one we killed last year. And that thing ran from like 17, 20 bucks all the way to 60. The pack was in there. Beautiful move on that thing. No. I think I'm inclined to think this thing's still choppy. I think it's still choppy, honestly. So I would imagine I wouldn't want to mess with it because it's still choppy. So I would just leave it alone right now. That 4 hour setup doesn't look bad. The candle on the 4 hour doesn't look bad, but you see what it did yesterday. I had a 4 hour candle too. You know, it was green. So I would caution myself with the conflict that it's showing. Lucid, let's keep going. Meta. Yeah, meta's to the downside. You said sitting on a weekly BF. I'll go with your word because I'm not I don't have it up on mine. I don't see it. I don't see the same one. Oh, maybe you're talking about this one. Yeah, I think with this one right here, I'm thinking more downside. I'm thinking rejection off this. If you go to the day on my top right, I'm looking at rejection. Got here, sold off, went back to go retest, got there, rejected, finished off the move, coming down. Maybe it goes to this broader formation, maybe it gaps down. I don't know. But I see downside movement on that one. But yeah, if you're looking for that entry tomorrow to the downside, look for the entry below 174.29. That would be your trigger to enter a trade to the downside. And to the upside, your trigger would be 175.75. Yeah, crash. Caterpillar doesn't have any setups, but it does look really good. And Wells Fargo, we did add to our list. BAC, figured if Wells was looking that good, BAC would be looking decent too. Two. 36.31. 28. Too real. Six, 6. Ooh, that is big.
All right. So both triggers 2-2 rev on the day above 36.40 on the day, and 212 on the 4 hour above 36.31. That is Bank of America, BAC. Next one, Mr. Motown. We're gonna check out Saba. Some of that Saba ranks. Saba ranks. Man, they got all these wicks on him, man. They're playing too much. I don't know what to think on this thing. Okay. Do not feel like it's going down though. So I do feel like we're gonna get this reversal on the hammer. Look at that volume though, 655%. Average daily volume today. 2-2 rev on the 4 hour above 26.74 would be an entry. That thing looks strong. I'm interested to see. I haven't heard anything on Saba, so I gotta look up and see what's going on with it. Yeah, you got the daily setups here. I'm not sure I'd wait in either direction for those triggers. I'll be looking for this 4 hour trigger, but I give you the levels. To the upside, if you want to take the 212, that's above 33.33, and then to the downside, if you want to take that downside trigger, that's at 25.12. On this one right on this Saba. And honestly, I mean, the 4 hour setup for me is where I would make the decision. I think it's too much range on that inside candle on the day to really be able to take advantage. I want to get in off the 2-2 rev and then target the top of this candle rig morning candle from today. That'd be my thought process. Next thing, Expedia. Two up on the 4 hour, 2 down on the day, 1-2-2 rev potential. Okay. 1-2-2. Okay. 1385. Good. So that's not a bad looking setup there on Expedia. I'll be interested to see how that plays out. Does an SQ look like CCL? Okay, KHC, look at this catch up. We got the Kraft Time catch up going on. Strong afternoon. May turn to inside candle. Well, this created a lot of wick on the inside candle. All right, day 2 down hammer. 2-2 rev on the day. $38.28. Yeah, I think we had. Yeah, I think we had it on. We had lows on there last week, Dave. I'm not mistaken. SQ don't look nothing like CCL right now. SQ looking red in the mud. SQ look like it's to the downside. 212 below 179.34. But you look at the full day, it does look like a hammer day. It could be popping back up. It's conflict for me, so I probably just chill on it. It's right out of broad information, so I see what you thinking. You see this bounce off that broad information. I can see that happening. Your downside trigger is 79.34. Your upside trigger is 80.43. So you got a real tight range. I mean, you don't have much margin. It could go outside very easily. Yeah, we already looked at
Hey,
those.
resume.
What's up, bro?
Hey, I'm just assuming by looking at that last chart. Well, I guess I should just ask: is there a way to stop your broadening formations from moving when you swap time frames on TOS?
For the most part, they're pretty. I mean, they're pretty accurate for the most part. They don't move like traded views does.
Okay.
But yeah, like once you like for me, if I'm intraday, I'm not really watching these macros too much. I might drop down to the hour or 30 or something like that. And they're usually in line with the other time frames.
Okay. Yeah. For some reason, my hourlies and dailies are a little off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, for me, they're usually not, if it's off, it's just like a visual thing, and I just have to like reset my screen or it's something, it's a screen glitch more so than like I'll close my app out and open it back up. But
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't have no like real like major issues with the chart with the BS being off. But I know that sometimes visually they'll be off if you're comparing like a micro to the daily or something like that. You be like, hold up, that don't look right. But that's what I do. I just close it out and open it back up or something. But yeah, nothing major to the point where I'm like, dang, this joint is not helpful.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anybody else got some experiences they can sure jump in, but mine's been very minimal. But it ain't nothing that it just goes away. All right, Coca-Cola, shout out that boy Browns. I know it's not a 0-day class, bro. If you ain't calling out that Coke, man. We got a Chrysalis with that. Okay, look like Coke went limping on the day. Ooh, I bet it was a fun day for Coke. I wonder how my contracts performed today. 2 up on the 4 outside day. 2 up on the weekend force. We know what it is. This one's gonna keep going tomorrow. More money to be made on Coke tomorrow. That was gonna keep going up. That's kind of like a no doubter. Hunter, if it hits trigger, do you enter the trade right away? If it blasts through the trigger, do you just wait for corrective activity before getting in? So the thought process here is that because we've done all of our homework like now and like tonight, so when it comes time tomorrow, we're not having to go decide which contracts to get in. We don't have to decide which ones have the best greets. We don't have to decide on which targets we taking the trade to. We're just waiting on the trigger to happen so we can execute. So typically, a lot of times for me, I'm hitting my order when the trigger hits. If I'm prepped and waiting on it, I'm like we should be. I'm just going, as soon as it triggers, I'm hitting the button like instantaneously. So even if it like blasts through the trigger, if I'm watching it and I got my eyes on it, does that, I'm still gonna take it right when it's supposed to trigger. Now, if I miss it or like I miss it or I don't see it when it first triggers and it's a late entry or a little bit later entry, I'll try to enter on like a TTO, especially if it just takes off crazy right after the trigger. I try to wait to see till it gets its first pullback. Then I'll take advantage off one of those pullbacks.
But yeah, so like even when you miss the triggers, it's not like the trade is done. You just gotta be patient to wait on the TTO. You get on that TTO and you back in the moving train. I've done that on trades before with a trigger on a Monday and I didn't get into Wednesday. And then it went like 1,000%. Was waiting for a TTO. So yeah, you know, you can take advantage of all that. Oh, okay. Position size matters, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, the average true range. It's like the average price movement on the stock, but I think that includes like the man, where my boy Whit, man, Whit used to break this down so good. But yeah, it's like the average true range. I think it includes like after hours as well, or like a longer range of time, versus the average. The ADR, I think is like, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's actually the it doesn't count after hours and it's like specific day to day, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody please correct me if you are a specialist. If my boy Monopoly was on here, I know he'd save me right now. Right, for that specific time frame, correct. Yeah. Size matters, yes it does. Yeah, and then yeah, we're gonna check out MO, see what MO talking about here. I am in MO. I don't know what am I in September 45s? I think I'm in the September 45s. Let's see. Doesn't even matter, but yeah, I'm in some MO contracts right now, currently long. I know I do not have tomorrow expirations. I got September. Yeah, I got September 45 calls. So I'm up on those, just kind of chilling, seeing, wait until it gets to the next broad information level. So we've got this level of like $48. That's probably where I'm looking at to take an exit on that trade. But until then, you can take opportunities, even if you're not in. You take advantage of short-term price action in either direction. So in this case, we've got a double inside day. Shout out to the pack. They were like, bro, it's a double inside day on MO, man. Better check that out, resume. Glad I did. MO might make itself a 0-day candidate tomorrow. But 45.65. Double inside day break on MO above 45.65. And that looks real solid to me. And shoot, let's see what else we got going on around these parts. See what's on the scan. Y'all gave me a lot of bullish setups, so y'all must be feeling bullish. I think I'm bullish. We just got to take advantage. There's volatility that occurs in between, so we just got to be mindful and smart about it. That really looks good though, DG, for next week, but we're not talking about next week. So I'm gonna go through this list right here. I feel like we were pretty selective today, which is good. We want to get the best of the plays. We don't want to just get them because they got a candle that looks good. This MRK actually is enforced. Interesting. Healthcare. I know the U.S. government is no longer going to be making COVID vaccine purchases. So look for those two stocks. When those stocks, they got the vaccine stuff going on. Not to respond well to that. Merck actually doesn't look bad. We're red on the day, but we open up green tomorrow. I mean, so no worries on that. Chicago set up on a 4-hour.
take this one under greater evaluation. Again, the lab. 9154 is the level for the trigger. Also on the day, we are looking at a 212. $91.84. And okay. All right. Let's scan. Well, we got Starbucks. See what they're looking like. 2 down hammer. Is that a 2 down hammer on Starbucks? Okay. Yeah. We'll take it under further review. We'll see. 2-2 red. We close to $90 on Starbucks, so we got back to its trading range pretty fast. Starbucks could never get over 102 now. We're getting back into Starbucks' normal trading range. So we'll see what happens with this one. We're on the low end of that, but we're getting there. Yeah, I thought the Roblox, I thought I mentioned it would just look choppy. It's just chop. It's what's the right word? Conflict. There's too much conflict. Looks like we had a trend change, or a trend is changing to the downside. And we're gonna keep going down. But it's like you get little pops of green in between. But yeah, this last week, it's like we hit, it might be a broadening formation up in here, and it rejected and just came on down. And then if you look over to the right here on the day, it starts to like tell the story that there's more downside. You're probably gonna make it down to these broadening formations around $38 on Roblox before it does anything. Yeah, I think maybe like $38 would be a good level for it to stop, slow down and selling. But that's what I see on it right now. We got ketchup. I don't like Adobe. Nope. Yeah, we did talk about ketchup. I just pulled that up. Amazon, I'm gonna take a look at Amazon, LUV. Amazon doesn't look great on the 4-hour, but it looks like came back to point of control and just kind of chilled out right there. We got an entry above 142.64. Take the week back green at 142.80, so 50 cents. The week is back green. That's not bad. Amazon's trying to get back, huh? Amazon been on the move though. $142.77. Right, Amazon. I just threw that on there just because I want to see what it's gonna do. We got Love, TSM, BCJ. See the airlines. Is that industrials or is that the airlines? But got love here, strong candle on the floor. That don't mean nothing. But what we do see is that we have the contact with the broadening formation, and price reverts back to the upside and created this very strong inside 4-hour candle. So you got the reversal off the blow going back to the upside. The expectation is continuation, at least until we get to this broadening formation here. So I could see that as a potential. It's a 4-hour setup. We're gonna start to wrap it up here in just a second. 38.98. Yeah, AT&T. I like it, but I don't. I like it at the price level, but maybe not for tomorrow. We're talking about it on the call today that, you know, AT&T is at a buyer friendly level, and that, you know, I could see this thing getting bought up at these price levels, but I'm not sure I want to go so far as to push it for a 0-day tomorrow, but it is in position to potentially make a move tomorrow. But I'm gonna fall back on it. But there is a setup on the day. I do really like the daily setup. We've got a 2-2 rev above 1853 on AT&T. So I still set the trigger. If you play AT&T and you're comfortable with it, play it. I think it's fine. I like AT&T, and it's a heavily, you know, traded stock, popular. So should be plenty of people at the party around AT&T. So it was just like consolidation overall. UNH, TSM, CCJ. Then we smack hard on CCJ the other week, y'all. Yeah. $24.53. Okay. I'm not even gonna set the day trigger. I'm gonna be focused on the 4-hour. The CCJ, I'm actually gonna wrap it up here with UNH and Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna leave y'all with it. We got UNH representing healthcare, looking strong here on the 4-hour. 312 Chicago setup. We're looking at an entry above 546.03. Just know those contracts are nice price to them. You also got a 322 potential on the day above 548.13 for UNH. I'm not going to set the trigger. I think the buy-in price is more than I want to share with the pack on a 0-day. It'd be that one person who damn well shouldn't be getting them damn contracts to go and buy them, get themselves plowed. I'm not even.
Hey, quick question for your resume.
Yeah, bro, go for it.
That weekly candle on CCJ, that don't scare you at all?
Yeah, let me see.
Looks like it was a shooter and maybe turned into a failed two down rank.
I haven't even got that far in my analysis yet. I'm just, I'm just collecting the data. Yeah. So,
Okay, I get it.
yeah.
I'm
So,
driving it. I glanced at it. Okay, no problem.
oh yeah. So yeah, when I go through it, when I go through the tickers later on, that'll be something I'll be looking at. I'll be considering conflict and continuity and all those factors. So like some of the tickers that we talk about on the class don't even make it to my list, and you know that. So like, yeah, that's the reason why, just like you said. Be stuff like that, got shooters and broadening formations in the way. We got to take all that stuff into consideration. So yeah, good call out on that. I'll be looking at that as well.
Reza, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, so I'm just looking at my market watch, and I've got a shitload of tickers, as less than you, but more to research this evening and tomorrow morning. How do you so quickly scan through the contracts, analyze the contracts?
So quickly?
So could you show me one example, just like not stopping to explain what you're doing, just like analyze one ticket.
I spent hours going through contracts, Ox.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. All right. So there's no shortcut. You just go through and
Do you see what time I alert my watch list?
Yeah.
On the
No, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I take the time to go through the contracts and evaluate and all that. I'm like you take a whole investor approach. I'm looking for reasons to say no, to scratch a ticker off my list.
Right.
Going through fine-tooth comb, broadening formations. If the percentage payout doesn't look right, yeah. So I'll go through a series of kind of analysis with that. But I mean, one of the bigger things that I look for, ops with the analyze tab in general.
Right.
I'm specifically looking for what kind of, there's not like a set like matrix or a ratio, but I want to understand what is the contract. How much can the contracts move in relation to the underlying movement on the stock?
Okay.
So I want the most amount of contract movement with the least amount of underlying movement.
Right. Got it. Okay.
So that's what you can only find by going and analyzing the contract. You can only there's no other way. I mean,
there's no other way to do it. Right.
Yeah, I'm sure you can reasonably assess it by going through your Greeks and stuff like that. But so you can calculate it manually for yourself if you do that. But or you can go and use the analyze tab. So for me, I think one of the stocks that brought it to my attention was actually MRO. It was an oil ticker.
Right.
And we would take this trade on day trades or something like that, 0 days. And this thing would go 15 or 20 cents and it'd pay 100, 200% on the contracts. And we were like, well, holy crap. And, we, at the time,
right.
It's like a discovery, holy crap. There's a whole spiel to it, and it plays into how the contracts move in relation to the underlying price. And, some sectors, they have, for the contracts to move, the underlying has to move. And then some, it's not as severe. And so just understanding that nuance and breaking it down by sector and all those factors is kind of put us in now we can kind of by instinct kind of know. But that's the idea behind it is okay, we got to go and analyze and see which ones are going to give us. We don't want to take a C+ play and put it over an A+ play because the C+ play has a higher payout ratio. You don't want to go that far, but we do if you have multiple tickers that you're looking at evenly. Then sure, go to your analyze tab and let that one help you determine based on how much they're going to pay you. It's hey, how much is this one going to pay me on a 2% move on the stock versus this one versus that one?
Right.
And then you have to factor in the broadening formations.
they're all not going to give you like the same. They don't all have the same like story to them when you're trying to project these trades. So like
Right, of course. Yeah,
so the
sure.
next chart information may be 1.5% away on one, and it might be 3% away on the next one, and it could be 5% on. So it's like, how do you calculate your trade, and then you make that assessment. So, you know, your trade idea for one stock may be only to take it for that 3% move, and the other trade may be for one, like, so it's going to vary. So you have to just adjust it based on each trade. But
Right.
you have to go and know. You got to know how much you're going to make off this trade. You got your ROI is key. So,
Right.
So what I do when I use the analyze tab, I just draw out different scenarios, you know, based on my trade. And,
Right. So you just basically using different price slices is what you're saying. That's a different scenario.
Yeah. You can use it by the price slice, and you can say, hey, I bought this contract for November, for example.
Right.
But I'm gonna plot out, let's say, based on my chart I'm looking at, price could actually get to my target within 30 days versus the 60 or the 90 that I bought.
Right.
So let me calculate what I would make if it got to target by that date.
Right.
And then I would calculate the week before, or the week after, or 2 weeks later, or 2% below the target, a week ahead, or like all the way.
Right.
So I have all these different scenarios, and so then I know what I can potentially make. But then there's a flip to it too. Like, you can test out your downside, meaning like there's some tickers or some contracts, I should say, where they have such good, I guess you could say, Greeks or Delta, whatever, that they could do nothing for a long period of time, and then so how like theta decays contracts, but there's some where the delta is really good, where it incentivizes you to hold the contract even if the underlying isn't doing anything, because the analyze tab's telling you is, so say if I had a 120-day contract, I plotted out a date of 90 days of me to exit, but I'm still within, like, I don't know, I'm still in close proximity with my entry price. It could give you a reading that you still up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
You could be higher than your expectation just because of that factor. So it could be situations where you're like, well, shit, I'm just going to take this contract and I don't care what it does for the first 60 days because the Greeks are telling me I don't have to have any price movement until like 45 days from now.
Right. I see what you're saying. So
So
a lot of hidden truths in there that you wouldn't see otherwise.
100%. Me and FICO talk about this stuff all the time. We go back and forth about them all the time.
Right.
But yeah. So it's just repetition as well. It's just repetition and just testing those theories out and all that good stuff. But yeah, it is time consuming. So there's that to it as well. So try to manage your list so you're not like you're not inundating yourself all night.
Right. No, for sure. Hey, I had one tip for you. You may be aware of it or not, but when you do your scans, right, you know that you can, there's an option where you can actually send it right to your chart, so you don't have to keep going across to your chart and typing it in. I don't know if you were aware of that.
Oh, gotcha. I was, but it was not in my thought process. I never think about it. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't even think about it, but yes, I was aware of that, but yeah, I didn't even.
So just when you're looking at 60 charts, those 3 keystrokes per chart for every ticker just adds up after an hour.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you do that?
On the how do I tell you? So on the scan, so when you scan it and then all the lists come up, right?
Let me pull it up.
So I'm in TOS. This applies to TOS. So let me let me, yeah, so on the right-hand side, you got that gear icon next to your volume index, down, 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 up, 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 up. So just come to the first, yeah, there, right there. Click on that. Customize.
Mhm.
And then just look up column. And then look up for send to. Just type send to maybe. SEND. Yeah. Res, maybe click on that.
You should be able to right click on the ticker and you'll see it up at the bottom. It'll say send to.
Yeah, no. But what this is going to, so what this is going to do, if you, this is going to save you right click, move down. So
It did it.
Rest, just go back there again, and I'm going to do it on mine.
It did it.
Did it do it?
Yeah, it did it. I still have to swap over, it looks like, though.
No. So you don't want to be doing that, because again, you got to move your cursor down. This just creates another column, right? So right next to description, you'll have this. You'll just have the color. So if you go back to the gear icon on the right-hand side, click on that. Yep. And then just stand by there. I'm just looking on my TOS here very quickly. Should just be send. If you type SEND, it should just pop up.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and wrap up the call real quick.
Yeah. Sorry about it. I didn't mean to take
You're good.
time.
You're good.
My apologies.
No. Let's continue that conversation.
Right.
Yeah, that would be useful for everybody.
I'll post it in the server.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I seen a ticker where you can do the send to, and then you just tab over.
Right.
And then Ronell, to answer your question, if the 4 hour goes 2 down but doesn't trigger the day, if the 4 hour goes 3 back up, will you take the hell yeah? Absolutely, Ronell. That's the whole idea. That's why I tell people don't just turn the screen off if your trade go 2 down after it opens up, because these are 4 hour triggers. Like it's a whole idea behind it. Like, especially those that have a tight range on the afternoon candles, they'll go 2 down and rip right back up within the first 30 minutes. And then if you go and research the ticker and historically see that there's a lot of outside candles created, you can just kind of anticipate that potentially happening. If there's broadening formations around, yeah, I plan a lot of trades that way. Absolutely. So yeah, I don't even trip. I still hold on to my trigger levels. All right, cool. Well, with that, everybody, I'm gonna let y'all go. It has been it's 90 minutes tonight. We went strong. So want to let y'all get to bed. I know y'all on the East Coast is getting close to 11 o'clock. So let y'all do y'all thing. And I'll catch y'all later in the Discord. I'll get my watch list out and my watch list recorded. And let's get this chicken tomorrow. It looks like it's a lot of opportunities. So let's take advantage. Let's come in focused, ready to go. Everybody done their homework and ready to execute tomorrow. With that, I'm gonna leave y'all with it. Y'all have a great evening. Peace.